Right from the get-go, this is one of those scenes where you know trouble's brewing, the ultimate calm before the storm. Back then, our guy Shen Yuan was the literal blueprint for living the dream. His flashy red supercar was an instant landmark parked outside the dorms. Leaning against it, his stunning girlfriend from the flight attendant program completed the picture. This is peak effortless, enviable success, and everyone on campus was eating it up, equal parts admiration and pure, unadulterated jealousy. It's the classic setup. You got to see the mountaintop in all its glory before they throw you right off the cliff. The very definition of campus celebrity. Just saying Shen Yuan's name was enough to turn heads and spark chatter. There he was, leaning against his brand new supercar with a casualness that just screamed trust fund. The girls scrambling to take pictures weren't subtle about it. But the real gut punch? When the absolute goddess from the passenger seat emerged with that elegant grace. He started college and already landed a second-year flight attendant goddess. What kind of insane luck is that? Was probably the collective thought of every guy on campus. Looking back, the sheer envy he inspired back then just makes the impending, earth-shattering crash that much more brutal. And just like that, life screeched to a halt. One minute you're dropping serious cash in upscale malls. The next you're staring at your own family's travel agencies, windows plastered with giant red closed X's and surrounded by cardboard boxes filled with failure. Unfortunately, my lavish spendthrift lifestyle came to a sudden end in my third year of college. The narration is flat, bone-chilling. The reason? A catastrophe that not only sank the family's 3 businesses, but left them drowning in over $1 million in debt. But you know what unravels faster than finances? So-called friendships. Back in the dorm, check out the textbook definition of fickle fair-weather friends. Want to go play some games? Shen Yuan. It's not like we're that close anymore. A single, casual line draws the new boundary. The guy lying down delivers the final blow with a sneer. You still think you're that loaded young master, ordering us around at will. Overnight, the fan club became expert ghosters. If you ever wanted a masterclass in how swiftly fair-weather friends can turn into cold shoulders, this is it. Brutal. But the truest, deepest despair always comes from the people closest to you. Losing everything, crammed into a tiny rented apartment with his family, and forced to slink back to a college dorm. This was rock bottom. Alone on a rain-soaked rooftop, Shen Yuan's inner monologue is colder than the downpour. It's hopeless. I don't even know if I can live a decent life, let alone have my carefree days back. And then, the final, most personal blow lands. His girlfriend, Zhou Wanting, immaculately dressed and utterly expressionless, delivers the classic poverty breakup line over the phone. Shen Yuan, that's it. Let's not contact each other anymore. I hope you find a girl who understands you better. Which translates to, you're broke now. You're not on my level. Get lost. There she is, in her gorgeous red dress, a walking symbol of everything he's lost, delivering the coldest of cuts. His perfect life shattered completely. More than just a car window, revealing the hollow, fragile world it was built upon. And right here, in this wreckage, our real story begins. When we thought things couldn't get worse, they did. The once prosperous Shun family was crammed into a tiny rental, and their son, the former rich heir, had to swallow his pride and move back to his old university dorm. Guess what happened next to his love life? The cruelest blow hit him in the rain. His girlfriend, Zhou Wanting, delivered the breakup speech with zero hesitation. All their promises evaporated into thin air. As she was about to get into someone else's car and leave for good, the last ray of hope in Shen Yuan's heart died. But did he beg like a pathetic loser? Think again. No way. When your dignity is shattered, you rebuild it with a vengeance. Shen Yuan didn't chase her to beg. He demanded the return of all the designer bags he'd ever given her. Boom! The air ignited with hostility. The ex-girlfriend was livid, screaming at him to go to hell. The grand finale of their 3-year romance? A petty squabble over returned gifts. How's that for poetic justice? Her new boyfriend, Mr. Perfect, piped up from the car, pretending to mediate with empty platitudes, and even offered Shen Yuan a ride home. The ultimate condescending gesture from a winner. Shen Yuan? He just gave a faint smile and said his home was very close. Was he admitting he couldn't afford to live far away? Or was hinting at the long, winding road of revenge he was already planning? For the final insult, the boyfriend delivered the ultimate lesson. We men must give women the best. Hearing these words from a man who stole his girl was the ultimate slap in the face. In that moment, Shen Yuan simply stood in silence. He said nothing, but the gleam in his eyes and the seed of vengeance that had just sprouted in his heart said it all. Everything was about to change. Rain is pouring. His girlfriend, Zhou Wenting, is sitting in a luxury car belonging to a stranger, delivering the final blow. She wants no part of a negative second-generation heir living in poverty. The sweet nothings whispered 3 years ago now transformed into icy blades, shredding Shen Yuan's last illusions. Did he crumble like a pathetic figure? Wrong. Just as the car door was about to close, a cold sneer spread across his face. He reached out to stop it, his voice laced with venom. "Give me back the bag. I bought it. My family's debts aren't branded on leather." This masterstroke of reclaiming his property ripped off the last shred of Zhou Wenting's pretense. This was never about love, only about the wallet he used to have. In the curtain of rain, the luxury car sped away, leaving behind a Shen Yuan discarded by the world. Money gone, family wrecked, the last shred of love extinguished by the downpour. Standing alone on the empty street, Shen Yuan felt like an utter fool. He had hit absolute rock bottom. Was there even a bottom to bounce back from? At the very moment of total despair, the world before his eyes shattered in a burst of golden light. A cold yet tantalizing voice echoed in his mind. "Host Shen Yuan, welcome to the perfect life system." What in the world? A miracle at the brink? Or a mad hallucination before death? This system, crashing down from the heavens, felt like a cruel and absurd joke from fate itself. The system issued its first task: spend money on a woman who has a favorable impression of you. Receive triple the cash back. Higher affinity, bigger rewards. This is insane. Absolutely myth. Shen Yuan felt his sanity burning. What was this? Fate's pity? Or an even greater humiliation? As he clutched his head, cursing the absurd reality, teetering on the edge of a breakdown, a gentle voice pulled him back to earth. It was his university counselor, Professor Li Xiao. "Shen Yuan, you're a grown man. It's just a breakup. Don't make such a scene." Before her words of concern even fully settled, in the very next second, Shen Yuan's pupils contracted violently. He saw it clearly, a pink heart icon floating above Professor Li's head, with a bold number glowing beside it. 65. The system's cold prompt chimed in. Target Li Xiao, affinity level 65, qualifies for investment. In that instant, all the absurdity, rage, and despair were obliterated by a thunderbolt named Hope. So, at the end of despair, a twist of fate was truly hidden. Taking a deep breath to suppress the tsunami in his heart, Shen Yuan's gaze transformed. From ashes to burning fire. He didn't accept Professor Li's kind offer about a scholarship of a few thousand yuan. That amount wouldn't even begin to fill his family's bottomless pit. He stared at that 65-foot above her head as if looking at a living gold mine. A system? An illusion? Who cares? Summoning his last shred of calm, he forced a smile. "Professor Li, it's cold. Let me buy you a hot milk tea?" The gears of fate began to turn with this seemingly casual invitation, initiating a wild reversal no one could foresee. As Shen Yuan hits rock bottom, covered in the dust of a ruined life, the kind Professor Li appears, a ray of sunshine offering comfort. But in the next moment, Shen Yuan freezes. He sees it clearly, a glowing number 65 floating above Professor Li's head. The perfect life system is real. This isn't fate's cruel joke. It's his one and only chance to fight back. A wild, almost insane idea explodes in his mind. Spend money on her, get back manifold? He immediately snaps out of his despair, forces a calm smile, and utters the invitation that will change everything. "Professor Li, let me buy you some milk tea." A simple cup of milk tea costs just 6 yuan. Shen Yuan's hand trembles slightly as he pays. This isn't nervousness. It's a test of fate. Before the words of thanks can leave Professor Li's lips, his phone screen lights up. Asterisk, asterisk, ding. 18 yuan received. Asterisk, asterisk, triple. A full triple return, not a cent less, deposited that easily. Watching his balance jump from 87 to 99 yuan, an electric shock jolts through Shen Yuan's heart. This is it. This is the raw foundation of money power. Outwardly, he remains polite with Professor Li, but inside, a grand, life-changing blueprint is being drafted with frantic speed. That 18 yuan is just the spark, the system's test fire. But this tiny flame ignites every ounce of ambition in Shen Yuan's soul. Staring at his phone balance, a terrifyingly logical core strategy detonates in his mind. As long as Professor Li's favor stays above 60, he can spend on her endlessly, siphoning infinite returns from the system. Every swipe is primitive capital accumulation. This isn't spending, it's an investment, his only weapon to fight a cold world and erase mountains of debt. Pay off the debts? No. Shen Yuan's eyes blaze with fire. I'll make the Shen family 100 times richer than before. 1,000 times. I'm taking back everything I lost. Ambition is set, But what can you do with 99 yuan in seed money? Nothing. Shen Yuan's mind works at max capacity. He liquidates, borrows, and leverages every bit of his credit, finally scraping together nearly 50,000 yuan. It's a drop in the bucket against his family's debt, but for the system, it's the first lever to move the world. Target locked, Professor Lee. But he must be careful. A broke student gifting a bag worth tens of thousands? Suspicious. The perfect cover story is born. Professor Lee, it's just a high-quality knockoff, really cheap. Please accept it. The lie is planted. The insane game of capital, built on kindness, has officially begun. Holding the 40,000 yuan luxury bag feels more volatile than a bomb. Shen Yuan rehearses the lie, even trashing a cheap old bag for authenticity. All preparations are done. Standing before Professor Lee's door, his heart hammers against his ribs. He raises his hand and hesitates. What if her boyfriend answers? What if she sees through the lie? What if? No, what ifs? Stepping back is a bottomless abyss. Stepping forward is a future of infinite possibility. He takes a deep breath, his gaze sharpening like a blade. Asterisk, asterisk, knock, 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 asterisk, asterisk. The door is rapped upon, and with it, an era begins. The plan is in motion. Shen Yuan shows up at Professor Lee's door with a fancy-looking bag. Why her? The system says she's a high-value target. Her affection is through the roof. He pushes this thank-you gift on her, a bag that's actually worth a fortune. But he spins the perfect lie, calling a cheap knockoff. Gotta make her feel okay accepting it, right? The con is on. Professor Lee hesitates. The bag looks way too expensive. But Shen Yuan leans in hard, playing the grateful, guilt-ridden student to perfection. It works. She can't say no to his don't make me feel bad routine. The bag changes hands, and boom, she invites him to stay for dinner. Phase 1 complete. The investment is in, and dinner is the perfect way to maintain that relationship. First hurdle cleared. Shen's staying for dinner, perfect for cultivating that system affinity. He's already calculating the next step while Professor Lee scrambles in the kitchen, her stir-fry threatening to burn. The wheels are turning, and so far, the plan is flawless. The return on investment is coming. He can feel it. Boom! The payoff hits before the first bite is taken. A text message chimes. System refund activated. Triple cashback. Over 100,000 yuan just slammed into his account. Minus the cost of the bag. That's a pure 80K profit. Shen Yuan is buzzing. He's splurged this kind of money before, but never earned it. This is the first taste of building his own empire. The high is unreal. Here comes the crash. Riding that financial high, Shen Yuan makes a fatal mistake at dinner. He casually asks, "It's just us? Where's your boyfriend?" Professor Lee goes from zero to furious, insisting she's single. Awkward. Then it gets worse. She struggles with her apron strap. He leans in to help. And just at that moment, the door swings open. It's her younger sister, Li Man, walking in on what looks like a suspiciously intimate scene. Busted. Well, there goes the smooth operator routine. The first major wrench is thrown into his perfect system plan. The air at the dinner table turns icy in an instant. Shen Yuan's offhand comment about a boyfriend makes Li Zhao's expression freeze. Excuse me, she's single. Then, a stubborn knot in her apron strap forces him to lean in close, their breath mingling. Just as he unravels it, the lock clicks. Li Zhao's younger sister Li Meng stands in the doorway, her eyes narrowed with suspicion, silently accusing them of something. Talk about bad timing. Shen Yuan's internal alarm is blaring. Standing frozen under the laser-like scrutiny of Li Meng, he can only stammer out a weak greeting. Beside him, Professor Li Xiao offers a panicked introduction to her formidable younger sister, her face flushed. Sister Li Meng doesn't say much, but the judgment radiating from her is louder than words. Shen Yuan knows he needs to get out. Now, time for a strategic retreat. Shen Yuan blurts out that he ate before coming, a painfully obvious lie as he makes a beeline for the door. Li Meng isn't buying it for a second, coldly pointing out the untouched place, setting, and warning her sister about his no-good intentions. Shen Yuan escapes, leaving behind a worried Professor Li and her fiercely protective, deeply suspicious sister. The cool night air helps Shen Yuan clear his head. Awkward scenes aside, the business of making money is paramount. The student-teacher dynamic is tricky, and Professor Li isn't a gold digger like his ex. He needs a new, suitable target for his system's investments. As if on cue, the perfect opportunity comes sprinting right at him. His roommate Huang Haibao practically crashes into him, breathless and horrified. "Brother Yuan, it's a disaster. My goddess, Fang Minhui. She went to the movies with that rich jerk Li Jiangping." A slow smile spreads across Shen Yuan's face. the campus queen coveted by his rival. This isn't a crisis. This is a golden opportunity landing right in his lap. The next chapter of his comeback is about to begin. Amidst Lao Huang's frantic blathering, a new target emerges. The department beauty, Fang Minhui, was out at the movies with that show-off rich kid Li Jianping. What's a heartbreak for Lao Huang is nothing less than a golden opportunity in Shen Yuan's eyes. Shen Yuan is internally laughing his ass off, being this pathetic for a girl, and here Lao Huang is celebrating just because she didn't stay overnight at a hotel, thinking he still has a chance. Shen Yuan cuts right to the chase, asking Lao Huang what kind of happy ending he expects when he's chasing a girl at the cost of his own self-respect. But the next second, when Shen Yuan truly lays eyes on Fang Minhui, his mind shatters. In his unique system vision, floating above her head is a number that makes the system itself scream. A whopping 72 points of favorability. It dwarfs even Professor Li's initial score. Shen Yuan is baffled. This is the department beauty he's barely spoken to. Why does she have such a high starting favorability for him? Forget a cash dispenser. She's the chosen one. A better investment opportunity than winning the lottery. Meanwhile, on campus, the gossip hasn't died down. The low-hanging drama of Shen Yuan getting dumped is still ripe fodder for chatter between classes. Two girls buzz with the news. Hey, did you hear Shen Yuan got dumped by his girlfriend? The juicy fall of a once-rich playboy is perfect after-class entertainment in their eyes. One of the girls, thinking back, is almost disgusted. She tells her friend she shouldn't have encouraged her to get close to Shen Yuan back during orientation, even buying him drinks. She can excuse a rich guy's bad attitude, but keeping up that arrogant act after going bankrupt, anyone would dump him. Good riddance, she says, you dodged 3 years of wasted youth. Little do they know, the arrogant bankrupt they're bashing is at this very moment running intricate investment calculations for their beautiful friend Min Hui's bizarrely high favorability score. The gears of fate are already grinding away, hidden from their gossipy view. The campus gossip is still buzzing, all about that dumped Shen Yuan. But the man himself? His focus is laser-locked on a different target. Min Hui, the campus goddess. The system flashing a 72-foot over her head is more tempting than any gemstone. She's not just a girl. She's a walking, unlimited ATM. With a smirk, Shen Yuan turns to his roommate, Huang, and drops a bombshell. What if I went after Min Hui? Would that bother you? He's testing his only ally, clearing the path for his next major investment. Huang's stunned reaction is part of the plan. But the real answer is a gift. Anyone but Li Jianping is fine, Huang sputters. See? Resentment and rivalry are far more predictable and useful than love. For Shen Yuan, that's the greenest light he could ask for. Faced with the challenge, Shen Yuan doesn't even blink. He ignores the protective friend, his charming smile 100% focused on Min Hui. Min Hui, I was wondering if you're free tomorrow. Then the casual bomb drop. I booked a table at Star Sushi. I'd like to invite you. After dinner, I was hoping you could help me pick a birthday gift for my sister. Boom. Top-tier Japanese restaurant, thousands per person, plus the wholesome family gift angle. It's a 1-2 punch of luxury and sentiment, designed to make a no sound unreasonable. You can almost feel Min Hui's affinity score starting to waver. Once Shen Yuan leaves, the real drama kicks off. Min Hui feels conflicted. She just watched a movie with the rich kid Li Jianping, and now this expensive invite from Shen Yuan. Is it okay? She turns to her friend. But her friend's eyes are sharp, her mind already running the numbers. What's wrong with that? It's top-tier sushi. Then comes the ruthless cost-benefit analysis. What does Li Jianping have? Just family money. Shen Yuan? He's handsome, and if his family bounces back, his potential crushes Li's. You're just going for dinner and a walk. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. See? When cold, hard calculation takes over, moral hesitation just melts away. In one speech, Min Hui's awkwardness is reframed as strategic thinking. The fish is already swimming into the net. The next evening, in the private room of the high-end sushi restaurant, the atmosphere is set. Min Hui looks at the exquisite dishes, her concern genuine. Shen Yuan, I heard your family's having a hard time. You don't need to spend so much. See? Her high affinity is showing through real care. And how does Shen Yuan respond? No flexing, no playing the victim. Instead, he brings up the little things, how she used to buy him drinks during their grueling military training in freshman year. Those drinks back then were more precious than this meal. One sentence, bypassing money entirely, hitting straight at the heart. Min Hui is disarmed, her gaze softening instantly. 2,774 yuan for the meal. He spends cash, But what he's really buying is skyrocketing affinity and a massive rebate about to hit his account. In this round, Shen Yuan isn't just pursuing a target. He's making a high-yield emotional investment with minimal cost. His comeback arsenal just got a major upgrade. In the warm glow of a high-end Japanese restaurant, Shen Yuan, once drowning in debt, now sat across from campus belle Minhui. She worried about the price, but with a casually dropped memory about her buying him drinks during military training, Shen single-handedly pulled her back from doubt and watched her favorability rise. She couldn't help but wonder, what game was this formerly broke guy playing? This is what separates the pros from the amateurs. One sincere, I've always remembered that sliced through all the games she was playing. Shen Yuan, keeping a cool exterior, watched as Min Hui's sinking favorability meters, triggered by his strategic nostalgia, reversed course instantly. He wasn't just buying a meal. He was staking a claim on a shared past. The tension hit a boiling point. As Min Hui's favorability climbed with every shared look and word, Shen Yuan was playing the long game. Just as the intimacy peaks, reality snaps back. 40 minutes later, he's at the register, casually dropping nearly 3,000 for the meal. For most, it's a crazy expense. For a man with a system, it's an investment portfolio purchase. This is the master move. While Min Hui was calculating the cost of living hit and comparing him to the stingy rich kid chasing her, Shen Yuan's world completed a financial loop. A notification ding on his phone was sweeter than any love poem. Her favorability, jacked from 72 to 76, triggered a 4x cashback multiplier. Spent $27.74. Earned $57.50. A cool $3,000 in profit from a dinner date. The look in Shen Yuan's eyes, his phone screen, just became the most beautiful thing in the room. The tide has turned. Dinner was a double victory, fattening Shen Yuan's bank account and locking Min Hui's favor at a solid 76. She looked at him differently now, like she discovered a hidden gem. She grabbed his hand, leading him to the mall to pick out a gift. Power, strategy, and manufactured romance, perfectly blended. The once penniless heir, Shen Yuan, was back on top, and the object of his investment followed willingly, none the wiser. Witness the power of Shen Yuan's cashback system. A meal costing over 2,000 instantly nets him a return of almost 6,000, all while Min Hui's affection meter shoots through the roof. Talk about killing two birds with one stone. As they hold hands and stroll deeper into the mall, the chemistry is undeniable. Li Jianpeng would probably lose his mind if he saw this. But the drama has only just begun. Talk about bad luck. Right outside the luxury boutique, Shen Yuan runs head-on into his ex-girlfriend Zhou, Wanting, and her new fling, Ho Jun. The insults start flying. A bankrupt like you belongs here? Shopping for your sister? The toy wholesale market is that way. Every word is a calculated dig. The tension is palpable. Min Hui tries to stand up for Shen Yuan, only to be condescendingly lectured by Ho Jun about a man's grace. The hypocrisy, paired with his ex's smug look, makes Shen Yuan's blood boil. But he keeps his cool. Why? Because the system just hurled a new, shiny mission right into his lap. Ho Jun keeps piling on, dragging out Shen Yuan's so-called bankrupt and in debt status, trying to crush what little dignity he thinks Shen Yuan has left. Little does he know, he's taunting the wrong person. Shen Yuan's gaze turns icy cold. The blueprint for revenge is complete. All right, you had your chance to back down gracefully. You chose not to. Fine by me. Ignoring the noisy couple completely, Shen Yuan turns, takes Min Hui's hand, and walks straight into the boutique. What was that Ho Jun said? Can you even afford it? Buckle up, because you're about to be schooled. The air in this luxury boutique is thick with the smell of money and prejudice. Staff members are whispering about who should attend to the former regular, the supposedly bankrupt Shen Yuan. One salesperson bristles at the very idea, calling a waste of time. Meanwhile, the crimson-haired Ms. Zhou stands serenely at the counter, issuing a calm but unmistakable command to her companion beside her. It's a chilling flashback to the coldness with which she once dumped Shen Yuan. Spying a big commission, the salesperson turns into a fawning yes-man, showering Zhou wanting with flattery while subtly insulting other customers' taste. Then comes the upsell. Accessories that are a perfect match for the bag, a set costing a cool 100,000 yuan. It's a blatant shakedown. In stark contrast, Min Hui is thoughtfully picking a bag for Shen Yuan's sister, opting for a more youthful style. Shen's response? Don't worry about saving money for me. See the difference? Real wealth is relaxed and considerate. Not like Zhou's side where every purchase feels like a calculated extraction. All the pressure is on Ho Jun now. The two bags, over 50 grand. The accessory set, another 100,000. This isn't shopping. It's a financial slap in the face, especially with Shen Yuan watching. To save face, to prove he's better than this broke loser, Ho Jun steals himself. Pay up. Show Shen Yuan what a real man looks like. But reality crashes down instantly. His bank account is empty. Then, the main event. Shen Yuan turns calmly, points, and tells the salesperson, "I'll take those 2 bags." And that accessory set she just recommended. Every eye in the room locks onto him. That single sentence detonates the scene. Zhou Wanting and Ho Jun are frozen statues, their jaws on the floor. What? The accessories too? Weren't you supposed to be bankrupt? The flustered clerk calculates. Mr. Shun, the total comes to 131,000 yuan. The air is thick with disbelief. Then, a cryptic smile plays on Shen Yuan's lips. How curious. Right after that food refund, I happen to have exactly that amount. Boom. This isn't a coincidence. It's a precision strike. He not only has money, but the timing is perfect, a calculated move to humiliate them right here, right now. Shen Yuan casually hands over his credit card. The clerk's hands are trembling. The same salesperson who dismissed him moments ago is now having a mental breakdown. One sale exceeded 130,000 yuan. I never expected Mr. Shun to be even more generous than before. Zhou Wanting's composure shatters. She storms forward, pointing a finger, shrieking, "Shen Yuan, where did you get all that money?" Her next question reveals her own pettiness and fear. "We didn't take out a loan, did you?" "A loan? To buy bags and humiliate you? Think smaller." Shen Yuan looks at her like she's a clown. Every cent he spends flows back into his pocket tenfold, 100-fold. This is the perfect life system. And this humiliation, it's just the opening act. Talk about awkward. Shen Yuan, out with his new goddess, Min Hui, runs smack into his ex-girlfriend Zhou Wanting, the one who ditched him the second he went broke, and her new boy toy, Ho Jun, right outside a luxury store. The insults fly. Bankrupt loser. What are you doing here? The air is thick with disdain. Shen looks calm on the surface, but inside, ding. A new system task just dropped. Payback time is on. Trying to drown him in insults? Fine. Shen Yuan just smirks, a dangerous little curve of his lips. Without another word, he turns and marches straight into the store with Min Hui. Ho and Zhou think it's a joke, this poor guy putting on a show. The joke's on them. Shen points. That one, and the full set. Wrap them up. The total? Over 130,000 yuan. Casual. The look on their faces? Priceless. And the final twist? Ho Jun's rich guy facade crumbles. That baggy bought Zhou? All on loan. The humiliation is complete. After publicly demolishing his ex, Shen shifts gears instantly. On the way home, he casually hands over both of those brand new 80,000 yuan bags to Min Hui. She's stunned, trying to refuse. His line? An apology for the nasty comments she endured because of him. Smooth. It frames him as chivalrous, not desperate. Watch her expression shift. Shock, shyness, and a growing warmth she can't hide. This investment is paying off in more ways than one. Min Hui is still caught up on the "for your sister" excuse. Meanwhile, Shen's inner monologue is laughing. "Sister? Please. These bags were always for you, Min Hui." "Why?" "Because spending on you triggers the system's cashback. It's the ultimate hustle. The sheep pays for the wool and thinks you're the generous shepherd." Watching her blush, fingers clutching the bag straps, mission accomplished. Warm fuzzies for her, cold hard cash for him. A true win-win. And here comes the PA out. Just as Shen has Min Hui all flustered and grateful, the system chimes in. Ding. Mission complete. Bonus unlocked for generating 15 points of negative emotion from the ex and her boy toy. The 130,000 he spent? Multiply that by 6. 786,000 yuan. Direct deposit, instantaneous. Total assets, nearly 800K. One hand holds the blushing beauty's hand. The other watches his bank account explode. Shen just played the ultimate card, humiliating his foes, charming his target, and making an absolute killing in the process. Turns out, spending money is the best way to make money. The system never lies. With his new golden goose, Min Hui secured, Shen Yuan headed back to his dorm. But he hadn't even stepped inside when he was hit by the thick smell of testosterone. Rich kid Li Zhanpeng was boastfully recounting his movie date with the campus queen last night, each word dripping with a deliberate swipe at Shen Yuan's roommates. Watching Min Hui leave with that shy, "I'm kind of looking forward to it too" expression, Shen Yuan knew the hook was set. Back at the dorm, he caught the sight of Li Zhanpeng swaggering downstairs with his lackeys. Shen Yuan's buddies were fuming. Why does this guy get a parade around the hottest girl on campus? Just because he's loaded? Zhanpeng's cocky voice still echoed in the hallway. "Guys, tonight the whole class is partying, my treat." He practically needed a megaphone. Inside the dorm room, A roommate slammed the door open, pointing outside and roaring, "He's spitting on our entire dorm, number 503. Just as his furious roommate was about to smash a keyboard, another buddy patted his shoulder with a cold, knowing smirk. "Don't sweat it. His show-off days are numbered." And in the corner, Shen Yuan just calmly opened his banking app. Staring at that staggering balance, a single, resolute thought crossed his mind. The funds are in. Time to go home. The first piece of his revenge had just been placed. But when Shen Yuan pushed open his front door, the scene he saw made his blood run cold. This wasn't a warm home. It was a debt collection battlefield. His once kindly uncle, Shen Yuan, now sat on the couch like a lone shark king. "Xiao Yuan's back," he said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Shen Yuan's mother was holding back humiliation, begging for more time. Seeing this, Shen Yuan's fists clenched so tight they went white. A classic tug-of-war between family affection and money unfolds at home. On the sofa, the man is in a tough spot, being pressured for repayment by a relative. Standing firm against him, Shen Yuan's fiery mother has had enough. She brings up old debts, demanding to know who lent him 300,000 without a word when he was penniless to start his car wash. "Now that we're the ones in trouble and borrowed you 200,000, we're the ones being hounded? Has the world gone completely cold?" As the argument heats up, the creditor relative directly targets Shun dad. "No money? Your wife said you have no urgent expenses lately. This is just adding salt to the wound." Shun mom explodes, accusing him of wanting to collect debts violently. What kind of ungrateful family is this? Seeing the situation spiral, Shun dad can only suppress his emotions and pull his wife back, whispering for her to calm down. If they must, she can sell the gold jewelry he gave her. The utterly desperate mother coldly retorts, "Enough, let's pay off these family debts first." Hiding outside the door, Shen Yuan hears his mother's resolve to sell all her treasured jewelry to pay the debt. And in that moment, he remembers how he once stupidly stole and sold his mother's gold ring to please his ex-girlfriend. A visceral wave of guilt and powerlessness washes over him. At the very moment of deepest guilt and strongest desire to help his family, his perfect life system swoops in for the rescue once more. A golden holographic interface pops up before his eyes. Time-limited mission. Repay family or personal debts. The reward? Absolutely jaw-dropping. Whatever amount he pays towards the debt gets doubled back. Making the first payment over 200,000 even unlocks a $1,000,000 vehicle fund. Shen Yuan's heart races. This is salvation in the snowstorm. The mission couldn't have been better timed. Even without it, he came home today with the very purpose of easing his family's burden. Shen mom has already dug out that wooden box filled with memories containing all the gold jewelry Shen dad gave her back in the day. Holding back tears, she resolutely hands it to her husband. "No matter how hard it was all these years, I never sold them. Now take them." Outside the door, Shen Yuan digs his fingers into the doorframe. This scene a knife to his heart. He can no longer hold back. Pushing the door open, he almost shouts, "Dad, Mom, we have money now. I have money." The expressions on his parents' faces shift instantly from despair to utter shock and disbelief. They stare at their son, who has just burst in spouting what sounds like madness. In the deep night, Shen Yuan's figure stands like a ray of light cleaving through the darkness. His parents' shock is plastered all over their faces. Grabbing his phone, Shen dad's eyes widen in disbelief. Shen Yuan's account actually transferred in a full 200,000 yuan. He grabs his son, voice trembling. "Tell me, where did you get this money?" Shen Yuan's mind races. He cooks up a perfect story on the spot. Leftover pocket money from before, invested in some cryptocurrency with a friend, which just skyrocketed recently. As he dodges the questions, he feels a wave of confidence. This excuse is flawless. Watching his parents' faces transition from anger and suspicion to being utterly dumbfounded by this windfall, Shen Yuan knows it. His counterattack, his path to becoming the family's protector, truly begins now. His inner engine is about to burn at full throttle. Home, a word that tasted bitterly ironic now. The moment Shen Yuan pushed open the door, he wasn't greeted with warmth, but with the ugly sight of his uncle, Shen Yuan, demanding repayment and his desperate mother about to pawn her cherished jewelry. The guilt over secretly selling his mother's ring to please Zhou wanting stabbed through his heart like needles. Just as he was about to be swallowed by this pain and rage, a new directive flashed from the perfect life system in his mind. Trying to kick them when they're down? Not on his watch. Once the debt was settled with a single transfer from Shen Yuan, his mother transformed instantly. The uncle, who moments ago had been all bluster, could only gape as she forcefully kicked him out. He stumbled away in disbelief, his mind racing. How did this family, supposedly drowning in millions in debt, suddenly come up with so much money? Were they about to make a comeback? Watching his uncle's fleeing figure, Shen Yuan's gaze turned icy and resolute. And in his ear, the system's chime was nothing short of heavenly. Ding! First phase debt repayment objective completed. Following that, his phone buzzed relentlessly. A 400,000 yuan double cashback and a dedicated 1 million yuan car purchase fund. His bank balance instantly skyrocketed to over 2.1 million yuan. He let out a long breath. While the road to complete recovery was still long, this first step, it was rock solid. Looking at his parents' weary but relieved faces, Shen Yuan's mind raced with calculations. Giving it all away wouldn't be enough. He had to use this capital to make even more. "Mom, Dad," he said calmly, "I still have about 200,000 untouched here. Do you need it urgently right now?" His mother tried to refuse, not wanting to take more from her son. But the anxiety radiating from his father was palpable. Seeing that familiar, awkward yet hopeful look on his father's face when asking for money was a strange echo of the past. The scene was so similar to when he used to ask for an allowance, only with the roles completely reversed now. He felt the gears of fate clicking into place, turning inexorably. In the end, he calmly transferred another 200,000 yuan. In this moment, he was no longer a burden, but the true pillar of his family. Back at school, Shen Yuan's mind is churning again. Let's not forget, the system thoughtfully provided a luxury car fund. This guy is now sitting on a fortune, and letting it gather dust would be an insult to the almighty system. So his investment radar instantly locks onto the most valuable target, Department Beauty manhwa. An invitation to look at cars is sent her way. Phew! Having just tactfully dodged a dinner invitation from teacher Li's sister, whose aura screamed danger, Shen Yuan barely has time to wipe his sweat. Then, Min Hui's reply comes in. Short and sweet. "No classes this afternoon." See that? That's what we call efficiency, what we call strategic investment. With this one move, Shen Yuan pushes his investment relationship decisively closer to a personal connection. On one side, a sister eyeing him like he's a thief. On the other, what Shen Yuan recalls now isn't a fond memory. He remembers the good old days in his air-conditioned luxury car, with his ex-girlfriend Zhou wanting in the passenger seat. But that memory holds no warmth now, only serves as a stark reminder of everything he once lost and everything he's about to reclaim. "Min Hui, free this afternoon? Want to come look at cars with me?" Almost instantly, the reply pings back. "Sure, I don't have classes this afternoon." Look at this interaction. Smooth, as if rehearsed 100 times. Is Shen Yuan just asking someone to look at cars? Heck no. He's playing a grand game. And Min Hui is the brightest piece on his board, his express lane to financial freedom. Back in the girls' dorm, it's chaos. "Oh, going to look at cars together already?" The teasing from her bestie turns Min Hui's face a brilliant shade of red, and her weak protest, "We're not together yet," sounds more sweet than convincing. Look at her, all flustered and shy, can't even focus on picking an outfit. Shen Yuan's cash power charm offensive is working flawlessly. The Department Beauty's defenses are clearly starting to crumble. You never know what's around the corner. Shen Yuan, just looking to buy a car without any fanfare, walks into the dealership only to be greeted by a salesman with a fake smile. The smile instantly freezes on his face. Qin Yang can't believe his eyes. The girl he pined for in high school, Fong Minhui, the one who got away, is standing right there, next to some guy dressed like he shops at a thrift store. Qin Yang's brain is doing backflips inside his slick-back salesman skull. But our main character, Shen Yuan, ice cold, unfazed, he introduces himself as a simple classmate. Qin Yang is forced to switch gears, putting on a professional mask. But his gaze is a dead giveaway. He's not looking at a customer. He's scrutinizing what Shen Yuan's wearing, mentally calculating if this outfit is worth more than a used tire. Fong Minhui casually points to the top-tier M9 model, and Qin Yang's processing power maxes out. That car starts at nearly 100 grand. He looks at Shen Yuan's tees and jeans combo and makes his judgment. Poser. He thinks he's got the whole act figured out. This deadbeat is just using the fancy showroom as a free photo shoot backdrop to impress his Minhui. Meanwhile, Qin Yang puffs out his chest, imagining himself the ideal bachelor with a decent job and a respectable car, finally being the man worthy of his high school crush. And now, the show truly begins. Qin Yang forgets he's supposed to be selling a car and shifts gears to selling himself, shamelessly trying to get a date with Minhui right in front of the guy he thinks is her boyfriend. Minhui's polite but firm rejection is the first gut punch. Then comes the knockout blow. The poor student Shen Yuan, the one Qin Yang wrote off as a nobody, interrupts him. His request? Can we have a test drive? Qin Yang loses it. The mask shatters. If you can't afford it, don't waste my time, he snarls, exposing the petty, jealous loser beneath the suit. He kept his cool. He played it patient, but that was the limit. Shen Yuan gives this pathetic, snarling salesman one last, cold look. He doesn't argue. He doesn't raise his voice. With the icy calm of a man in control, he turns slightly and addresses the room. Get me another salesperson. That's it. No drama. Just a dismissal so casual it's brutal. It's a silent slap in the face to Qin Yang's fragile ego. Meanwhile, the real professional, Chun Na, sees an opportunity and steps forward with a winning smile. Now, the real drama begins. Talk about a small world. Shen Yuan took Min Hui to the dealership, only to bump into her high school senior, Qin Yang, who's now a sales consultant. Qin Yang just gave Shen Yuan's simple outfit a quick glance, and his inner snob is already activated. In his mind, a scholarship student like this is clearly just trying to show off in front of a pretty girl on a shoestring budget. He won't even arrange a test drive, smirking all the way. But Shen Yuan? He doesn't skip a beat. Coolly, flatly, he demands another salesperson, leaving Qin Yang stunned. Qin Yang promptly dumps this problem customer on his colleague, Chen Na, scoffing behind her back. A student says he wants to buy an M9? Isn't that absurd? He spits, convinced it's all an act Shen Yuan is putting on just to look good in front of the girl. Meanwhile, the seasoned saleswoman Chen Na takes on this customer Qin Yang, considered a time-wasting joke. While Qin Yang is still patting himself on the back for dodging a bullet, he has no idea what's really happening. Chen Na is in the passenger seat, giving professional, detailed insights into the car's top-tier features like the 192-line LiDAR. The contrast is stark. A professional selling to an intensely focused buyer. No pretense, no jokes. If Qin Yang could see this scene, his head would probably explode. After the test drive, instead of asking about budgets like a normal client, Shen Yuan cuts straight to the chase. Any units available? I want it today. To say Chun Na is shocked is an understatement. She's thinking this is insane. Most clients agonize endlessly over price after seeing a car multiple times. This guy doesn't even ask the price after one test drive. A dizzying possibility dawns on her. Might this be a real deal? Did that idiot Qin Yang just toss a walking, talking cash cow out the door? Professional mode on. Chen Na springs into action. Car can be transferred. Ready this afternoon. Immediate signing is fine. She's playing it cool on the outside, but her mind is racing. Over 600,000 yuan, and not a hint of hesitation. A real angel client. She quickly collects a deposit and heads for the office to prepare the contract. A colleague casually asks about her client's interest. Chen Na just gives a knowing, secretive smile. She's got a feeling the joke customer Qin Yang dismissed might just become the dealership's biggest catch of the day. Back at the dealership, Qin Yang dismisses Shun as another broke student and palms him off to his colleague Chen Na. He's so confident, he's even joking in the break room, betting that if this kid can afford a car, he'll literally eat the badge off the hood. But Chen Na, she's pure professional. Whether you look the part or not, you get VIP treatment. One test drive later, Shen doesn't even bother with mundane questions like price or specs. You think he's stalling? Wrong. He drops the bomb next. Full price. I'll take it today. Chen Na is floored. A car worth over $500,000 bought, like groceries. But she doesn't skip a beat, immediately running to coordinate inventory. Meanwhile, Qin Yang and his gang are busy snickering in the background, fully expecting Shun to get cold feet and run at the last second. Before their little script even finishes, Chun Na is back. Sales contract and the process payment slip in hand. Mr. Shun has completed the payment. The air freezes. Every smirk, every laugh from a second ago gone. The look on their faces, especially Qin Yang's, is priceless. This is the definition of a full circle moment. Qin Yang just gift-wrapped a commission worth a small fortune and handed it to his colleague on a silver platter. As he watches Chun Na respectfully see Shun and his girlfriend off, the sheer magnitude of his blunder is probably giving him literal chest pains. Shun's financial power just made another costly fool out of doubter. As Shen Yuan walks towards the payment counter, Qin Yang and his snobby colleagues are still whispering, mocking him for being a pretender. Little do they know, the notification of a 2 million yuan deposit has already crowned the real star of the show and exposed the clowns for who they are. Snagging the luxury car is just the appetizer. The real jackpot is Shen Yuan himself. But he's got no time for the losers who look down on him. His focus is entirely on the department beauty, Min Hui. Hui Hui, would you like a cold or hot drink? A simple question sends Min Hui's mind racing in a completely different direction, turning her cheeks red. Shen Yuan is equally puzzled. Wait, I meant that literally? But then a light bulb goes off. perfect. If there's a misunderstanding, should he deepen it? Hell yes. 3 hours later, God of Wealth Shen Yuan strikes. A 128,000 yuan watch? Sold. A 208,000 yuan bracelet? Done deal. A 505,000 yuan handbag? Only the best for my hui hui. In less than 2 days, nearly 140,000 yuan spent, and Hui Hui's affection meter soars to 81. Watching the system instantly refund another 250,000 yuan to his now 2 million plus account, Shen Yuan gently wraps his arms around Hui Hui from behind. Whispering in her ear, he asks, Hui Hui, how about not going back to the dorm tonight? Half an hour later, room 808 at the Grand Magnate Hotel. Fresh out of the shower, Shen Yuan looks at Hui Hui, who's flushed and lying on the bed, fretting over what lie to tell her roommate, Linger. Shen Yuan just smiles, drying his hair, and asks, Hui Hui, are you ready? That single question makes her heart skip a beat. In the end, Hui Hui sends the text, Linger, I won't be back tonight. If anyone asks, just say I'm at a relative's place. Looking at the expensive new watch on her wrist after sending it, guilt and an indescribable sweetness fill her heart. Sorry, Linger, but he's giving me way too much. For being drowning in debt to reversing his fortune overnight, Shen Yuan hasn't just bought back material things. With absolute financial power, he's reclaimed the dignity, the affection, and the loyalty he once lost. Tonight, sleep is definitely not on the agenda. The car deal was done, but saleswoman China, out of professional courtesy, offered them a ride. That was all it took to spark a tiny flicker of jealousy in Min Hui's eyes. But Shen Yuan, master of EQ, he noticed instantly, smoothed things over with just a few words, leaving the campus belle blushing and her worries forgotten. Of course, smoothing things over calls for compensation, right? Mister. Shen led her straight to the mall. Designer watch, luxury bracelet, limited edition bag. Over 80 grand spent in one go. Watching Min Hui shift from shock to delight to utter dependence? That's what we call a premium investment return. The shopping spree over, Shen Yuan's phone chimed with a heavyweight notification. The vehicle purchase mission complete. A massive cashback hit his account. Boom. Total assets, now solidly over 2 million. The night was deep, the mood just right. Looking at Min Hui beside him, wrapped in luxury and affection, Shen Yuan offered a subtle smile and the invitation. Don't go back to the dorm tonight. Min Hui's face burned crimson, her shy nod sealing the deal. At this moment, their relationship officially leveled up. Half an hour later, a change of scenery. Min Hui nestled in Shen Yuan's arms, a lingering blush on her cheeks, whispering, wasn't as scary as Chen Ling said. Shen Yuan, gently stroking her hair, had a different internal monologue. Didn't expect Hui Hui to adapt so well. It feels great, but man, I'm exhausted. Looks like living the high life left him a little out of shape. 2 months without, and he's already tapped out? But the kicker? Min Hui hugged him from behind, breathing softly by his ear with a request. Shen Yuan, what if we do it again? Faced with this enthusiastic encore invitation, even our young master Shen was feeling the strain. Drenched in sweat, gaze distant, he tried to bargain. Hui Hui, can you wait until I rest a bit more? But Min Hui, having tasted the sweetness, wasn't having it. Her face flushed like an apple, yet her gaze was resolute. No, right now. I want to, well, the perfect life system delivered the cash flow, but it seems the endurance debuff is real. Time to find a fix for that, too. A night of passion fades, reality returns. Sunlight streams in as Shen Yuan picks up his phone. A CCB app notification blares. Account balance, 2.3 million. Staring at that number, he takes a deep breath. The family's 52K debt gets cleared. The 100K owed to Li Yuhang, gone. From a disgraced, debt-ridden negative second gen to a millionaire in the shadows, all in a matter of days. But Shen Yuan knows this is just a prologue. The real comeback, the era of Shen Yuan, is only now beginning its grand opening. Tensions are rising in the dorm. A friend is aggressively questioning Shen Yuan about his absence last night. But is Shen Yuan still the guy who has to hide from everyone? Not anymore. He casually deflects and points to the class chat. Look, someone just bought a fancy new car and is treating the whole class to a dinner. Shen Yuan instantly knows it's that show-off Li Jianpeng. To go or not to go. Watching that smug face will be torture, but skipping means throwing away the class fee. In the end, Shen Yuan's smirk says it all. Li Jianpeng, you and your little flex. Cute, but I've got better things to do. Just as Shen Yuan was pondering how to manage his ever-growing fortune, destiny clicks into place once more. The perfect life system slaps down a time mission. Invest 1 million within a week. The core message is brutal. A real winner doesn't just win hearts. He builds an empire. This couldn't have come at a better time. A legitimate source of income? Shen Yuan's mind races, and he instantly connects the dots. Li Yuhang, his old friend, the rich kid whose investments always tanked and got cut off by his family. Isn't his bar under renovation? Perfect target practice. He whips out his phone, replying to Li Xiao's invite with a newfound dominance. Send the location. Tonight, your new business partner is coming to play. Cut to a scene oozing with opulence. The most exclusive private room in Nanjing. Lin Guangyao is getting hangry, clutching his date. Li Xiao, who the hell are we waiting for now? Zhao Zhenggang and Xie Haijie chime in with that classic condescending line. Important people never arrive early, you know. The unspoken meaning? You're not worth our time. But Li Yuhang, the host, calmly rocks his wine glass and drops the bomb. Be patient. Grab a snack. Shen Yuan will be here soon. Shen Yuan? The name hits the room like a foul smell. Lin Guangyao scoffs. Shen Yuan? Weren't his family bankrupt? He's out of our league. Why would you even invite him? The naked snobbery, the casual disdain, tonight's dinner is already laced with poison. The undercurrents in the VIP room are turning into a whirlpool. Impatience brews. My treat tonight. Got a problem? Well, if you're not paying, shut up. Another guy scoffs dismissively. If you say wait, we wait. Elsewhere, an emotional scene unfolds as a girl slurs through tears, accusing her date. You don't want to be my boyfriend, so why do you keep touching me? Money, power, lust, and resentment. It's all swirling in this cocktail of a party. The real kicker? Someone's pretending to care, asking Li Yuhang, "Where's your girlfriend?" Li lies smoothly. Traffic. She'll be here soon. But inside, he's sneering. He sees right through their pathetic play at keeping face. This whole scene is just rotten fruit, wrapped in fancy paper. Just as the tension reaches its breaking point, a soft click. The door opens. A pair of killer legs, wrapped in sheer black, strides in with confidence, instantly claiming the attention of every man in the room. That iconic Office Temptation look. One guy's already lost in a fantasy. My cousin's not married yet. Maybe I've got a shot. But their peripheral vision is completely hijacked by the figure in the doorway. Brown cardigan, jeans, and a disarmingly casual smile. Shen Yuan. He strolls in like a guy who's just left a lecture. Sorry for the wait, everyone. The guy who snapped at him for being late has no idea. The person he's been waiting for isn't the Shen Yuan from the past. The real show, the storm, is about to begin now. Shen Yuan arrives at a lavish gathering hosted by his former friends, and the welcome wagon is already rolling. Mocking his ride-hailing app, the luxury car-driving crowd frames traffic as his personal failing. This isn't a reunion. It's the prelude to Shen's comeback tour, and they're handing him a mic. Lin Guangyao can't resist name-dropping his girlfriend, a car sales consultant, hoping to rub it in. Little does he know, she's the exact person who just helped Shen Yuan drive off with a top-tier luxury car yesterday. Watching this awkward attempt to show off, Shen just smiles, letting the tension simmer. The real drama is yet to come. The gathering's main event kicks off. Young Master Li Yuhang, the heir to a billion-dollar fortune, is humbling himself, asking his friends for a 700,000 yuan investment to upgrade his bar. On the surface, it's a business pitch. In reality, it's a loyalty test for a young master whose family has cut off the funds. A deafening silence falls. The bros who were just toasting and boasting moments ago have hit a collective mute button. Some calculate their meager savings, others whine about the vibe being ruined, and a few simply stare at their shoes. For 700,000 yuan, Li Yuhang just bought the brutal truth. His friends are just freeloaders. And Shen Yuan, watching from the shadows, knows this tune all too well. The masks are off. With no real investment in sight, suggestions shift to loaning a few $1,000s, and someone openly drags up Li Yuhang's past business failures. The very people who once orbited him are now handing him the knives. The young master's heart is turning colder than the ice in his glass. Li Yuhang's hitting a wall. He thought he could rally his so-called brothers for a business partnership, only to realize they see him not as a partner, but as an ATM. Especially that Lin Guangyao, all talk and no action, turning a solid investment pitch into a simple loan request. Looking down at his glass, Li Yuhang finally sees the parasitic nature of this circle he's in. The champagne has gone flat, and so have his hopes in these friends. Fed up with the shallow pretense, Li Yuhang cuts it short. When the Li Xiao suggests they just eat, drink, and forget the business, it's the last straw. Li Yuhang calls it out for what it is. A room full of parasites living off their family names. He turns to leave, but in that moment of cold clarity, a thought sparks. That 700,000, that could be his ticket out of this circus. Just as Li Yuhang is ready to walk, a calm voice cuts through the noise. Shen Yuan, the guy everyone's dismissed as a broke has-been, drops the bomb. I'll invest. The room freezes. The mockery is instant. Don't joke around, Shen Yuan, and showing off for no reason. That Zhao Zheng gang even mockingly suggests Li Xiao go wash his face to clear his head. In their eyes, this is just a desperate man's last-ditch attempt at saving face. The condescension is on full display. Lin Guangyao, the older brother, lectures Shen Yuan about knowing his place. Li Xiao offers to pay for Shen Yuan's taxi ride home, the ultimate insult. The whole room is united in their belief that Shen Yuan is bluffing on a grand scale. But Chen Na, the car salesperson who witnessed Shen Yuan drop 600,000 yuan yesterday, is in turmoil. She knows he has the funds. Yet, as an outsider, speaking up now would be crossing an unspoken line. The pressure is mounting on her, too. Silence. Absolute, deafening silence. Shen Yuan doesn't argue, doesn't protest. He simply taps a few times on his phone. Seconds later, a crisp ding-dong notification sound cuts through the jeering. Li Yuhang glances at his phone, his expression shifting from confusion to shock. The screen doesn't lie. A direct transfer of 700,000 yuan has just hit his account. The champagne flute in Li Xiao's hand freezes mid-air, his smug grin crumbling. Shen Yuan, you... He stammers. But what can he say? The ultimate mic drop wasn't a word. It was a bank notification. The plot twist hits like a freight train. Lin Guangyao, who was just sneering at Shen Yuan moments ago, is now staring at his phone with his jaw on the floor. The pocket change Shen Yuan just casually invested in the down-and-out Li Yuhang. It's a staggering 700,000. Even the wine glass in his hand is shaking with disbelief.